Welcome to episode 25 of Masculinity. This time we're up to verses 18 to 22 of Matthew chapter 4. So I'll just read those out. Walking along beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, the one called Peter, and Andrew, his brother, casting their nets into the sea, because they were fishermen. And he says to them, "Come, follow me, and I will make you to be fishermen of humans." Immediately they left their nets and followed him. And going a little further from there, he saw two more brothers, Jacob, the son of Zebedee, and John, his brother, in the boat with Zebedee, their father, mending their nets. And he called to them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed him. Okay, so this is where the adventure starts. Jesus sees a set of brothers, calls them, they leave their livelihood to become apprentices of this itinerant ministry that they don't really know much about what it is. Jesus is not choosing people who are already suitably experienced or qualified. They're just people who fish for fish. They don't need to have particular qualifications. So Jesus begins with these two sets of brothers. I'm not quite sure where in the text we can see the reason for why would Jesus choose these two sets of brothers. It seems a little bit random. It doesn't seem like the text is saying that Jesus is looking for a particular kind of worker. He just says he sees them, says, "Come follow me," and they do. Yeah, it feels like a little bit bizarre. It reminds me of an adventure story where the people, they're just doing their lives, and then there's an opportunity for something completely different, something for a new direction, an adventure to go on, and they're ready for it. They're up for it. So off they go. So it's unfortunate that we break off, that we separate off this part from the previous part, because if we're reading it straight through and we don't have any headings in the way, like in my Bible, there's a heading that separates verse 17 and 18. But if you're just reading it through without all these extra headings put in, we can see that the two sets of brothers that Jesus sees, they do know something about Jesus. So it might look like, well, why would they follow him if they've got no idea who he is? He's only just moved to Capernaum. So he now resides in Capernaum, and he's just said, "Follow me." Like, well, who is this guy? But if we're reading it straight on from verse 17, they do know a little bit, and that is that Jesus is the guy who's interested in the kingdom of the heavens coming near. Change is happening. Change is necessary because of this big kingdom coming. The greatest kingdom of all is coming. So people would be fairly used to the idea of, yes, a bigger kingdom comes along and takes over. So this happens quite a lot, where a smaller kingdom gets taken over by a bigger kingdom, and then an even bigger kingdom comes along and then takes over that, and then that process, happens century after century after century. Like it just keeps happening. But what is the kingdom of the heavens? That sounds like the biggest kingdom of all. That sounds like the final takeover. That sounds like, yeah, we want to be in that kingdom. that that's we're not going to get taken over anymore. We'll be in the biggest kingdom, the one that takes over. Yeah, that sounds pretty exciting. So these two brothers, well, two sets of brothers, we've got two brothers plus another two brothers. They're not completely unaware of what's going on because they've just heard what Jesus is preaching. Jesus is publicly declaring the message that was the same as John the Baptist, that there's something underway. The kingdom of the heavens is underway. It's close. It's happening. It's about to. We need to expect changes and make change for this kingdom. If you're not going to make change for the kingdom is just you're going to be on the wrong side. So get in on the right side. Get in with the greatest kingdom of all is underway. So in that sense, I think these two sets of brothers would be excited. Like, this sounds good. Like, we get to feel masculine, and I don't know what we're going to do. Are we going to? Is this a military? Are we going to be involved in a military takeover? Like, what? It's not clear yet. What kind of role we're going to be playing? All he said so far is that we're going to be catching people, catching them. Yeah. So okay. Yep. All right. Well, we know how to catch fish, and now we're going to learn how to catch people. That sounds very, very rugged, very masculine, very macho. It's not till the next verse that we'll find out that what Jesus means by the kingdom being near is a little bit different than perhaps what they were expecting. If they knew anything about John the Baptist and what John the Baptist seemed to be indicating when he said, "Repent, for the kingdom of the heavens is near," they might soon realize that Jesus has a very different approach, saying the same words, but has a very different approach. So next time in verses 23 to 25, we'll hear about what does Jesus mean when he says, "Repent, for the kingdom of the heavens is near." That's all for this episode. Thank you for listening.